Before we get into the video, I'd like to shout out my partnership, Buy Games Cheaper with Instant Gaming. The affiliate link will be posted down below in the description if you guys would like to check that out. With the new Home Invasion DLC, a lot of modifications that previously worked for Ready or Not are no longer compatible. A lot of the mod developers started uploading new mods or updating mods for the Home Invasion on launch day. However, the reason I haven't been showcasing or using them in my gameplays is primarily due to my own restrictions for content purposes. I like to keep my content on new releases fresh of mods for the first week or so of a new update or DLC, obviously in this circumstance. This allows for enjoyment of all the new items and changes that came to the game and allows for the viewers to see exactly what they're getting with the new updates. I had an entire list of modifications that I specifically used to my preference, and the vast majority of them have yet to be updated or have any replacements. However, within the last day or so, I have been slowly building back up my mod list. A lot of those mods are shared down below in the description in case you're interested. The number one modification though on that list would be the new Gunfighter V4 mod. Gunfighter aims to provide a realistic gunfight experience in theory based on gameplay, covering CQB concepts and tactical thinking. It is intended to provide players with a comprehensive combat effectiveness enhancer that is compatible with both milsim style groups and those that prefer single player. To give specific examples, the mod offers weapon recoil improvements to make them feel more realistic like they would in real life. There's also movement speed increases, realistic ballistic changes, and much more. Now, with the new Home Invasion DLC, the game was transitioned into Unreal Engine 5.3, which caused a lot of issues for modification developers, many of them having to start their mods from scratch, and of course that includes the mod developer for Gunfighter. So a huge shout out to Nino. I'm sorry I can't pronounce your full name, so hopefully that's okay if I call you Nino. If not, I sincerely apologize. But either way, a huge shout out to him for taking the time to give us this absolutely incredible must-have mod. Now, I won't be going over every little detail this mod has to offer, and I may be missing a few things here and there, and hopefully I cover the new stuff that's in version 4, but I may have missed something, so I do apologize. But I will be going over the most notable and impressionable features of the Gunfighter mod. Firstly, it's important to know that the mod offers a lot of customization and is very modular. If you don't like certain features that Gunfighter offers, you can choose to opt out of those features by only downloading and installing specific files. Or you can choose the all-in-one option, which simplifies the whole process and adds everything in one file. Starting off with Gunfighter Basic. This option adds compression or short stocking when pressed up against door frames or objects like boxes. In vanilla Ready or Not, there are moments where if you get too close to an object, your gun will be forced up. With Gunfighter Basic, your rifle will instead be pushed back a bit, but it won't be forced up into the sky. This is super realistic because operators in real life will typically train to choose to kind of compress their rifles when operating in close quarters combat situations. Gunfighter Basic also offers improvements to night vision goggles. This adds bloom suppression and gain. There's also a separate mod that adds an immersive overlay. This is a separate mod though that you will have to download separately to the Gunfighter V4 mod, and I'll have a link to that down below in the description if you'd like to use the overlay as well. Gunfighter Basic also gives you the option to have 25 slots in your inventory, which is so much better than the default 13 with light armor. Moving on from that, Gunfighter Basic also adds this really awesome looking view model change. This looks very similar to what the view models look like in Ground Branch, and I like it a lot because it gives you a much better field of view. Along with this, secondary firearms also have a change of perspective as well, which also looks pretty cool too. And lastly, with Gunfighter Basic, this gives you the complete weapon recoil overhaul. The firearm recoil is significantly changed to be more realistic. There's a huge difference with this mod compared to vanilla, and it is absolutely recommended. I'll let you guys check it out here. Moving on from Gunfighter Basic, we're looking at the Gunfighter Device option. With Gunfighter Device, you get the ability to choose the hidden 9-banger grenade. This grenade is available in the main game files, but for whatever reason, Void Interactive decided to leave this one out. However, with Gunfighter, this gives you the option to check out this grenade. Now, Gunfighter Device also lets you utilize a variety of different helmet and face options. In the vanilla game, you can only choose one of these options, but in Gunfighter, you have many different choices here. One big change in Gunfighter version 4, the newest version, is the ability to now use GPNVGs with this edition, but this only works if you have Supporter Edition. Next, we're taking a look at Gunfighter movement. Now, originally, I opted out of using Gunfighter movement in the past because it caused a lot of glitchy third-person animations, and I really didn't like the way it looked. However, it seems that most of these problems are fixed as far as I know, and I really thought it'd be necessary to try it out, especially considering if I'm showcasing the mod. Gunfighter movement increases your movement speed to 107% of what vanilla speed is set to. Now, unfortunately, I do apologize, I don't really have a way to demonstrate this in game, but it is a sizable difference and you'll definitely notice it while you're in game. With Gunfighter movement, there's also this awesome feature that penalizes your movement if you get shot. If you get hit in the arms, like if you get severely injured, your primary firearm will be very difficult to control. However, if you transition to your sidearm, this can give you better results because you're not holding on to a big heavy rifle. Now, along with this feature, if you get shot in the legs, it will significantly lower your movement speed by 10% for each leg that is severely injured. I think this edition brings something new and I actually kind of like it. It reminds me of a more advanced medical system. I actually wouldn't mind if the game eventually got a hardcore medical system, sort of like what you have in Escape from Tarkov. I think that would actually be pretty cool. The last feature we're going to be taking a look at here is Gunfighter Ballistic. Now, essentially, Gunfighter Ballistic makes some massive adjustments and changes to ammunition and how rounds interact with armor. I won't be going into a lot of specifics here, but there's quite a few notable changes that are worth showcasing. Firstly, this feature adds a slight adjustment to how rounds interact with unarmored body parts, which will now improve stopping power. This does include shooting suspects in the arms and legs and portions of the torso that aren't completely covered by body armor. Along with this, they added a change to steel armor plates. Steel armor plates will now have a reduced spalling penalty rate. One of the main reasons I stay away from steel armor in the game is because there is a significant chance of spalling that doesn't do damage to your character, but it will do damage to your teammates, which is an absolute nightmare. And we have tested this out, and it actually is a significant amount of damage in the main vanilla game. Now, in real life, steel armor comes with anti-spalling coating, which can prevent spalling from harming you and others, and with that, steel armor is obviously the better choice in real life. However, in Ready or Not, this isn't necessarily the case in the vanilla game, and it's the main reason why I decided to use ceramic, and I ask that my team members use ceramic as well. Also, with the mod, speaking of ceramic plates, we now have a minor durability buff, allowing to block 1 or 2 more additional shots with ceramic armor. Moving on from that, one big change with Gunfighter Ballistic in version 4 is the improvements and changes to the 300 Blackout cartridge. This was done for the purpose of realism. The ammo is now considered subsonics with this mod and are renamed from AP to FMJ and JHP to OTM. The damage curve on this ammunition type is severely nerfed beyond 150 to 200 meters, and the penetration on OTM cannot effectively penetrate level 3 armor. And in case you're wondering, the enemies of Sins of the Father and Neon Tomb all wear at least 3A armor plates. However, to counteract this, the 300 Blackout FMJ will penetrate 3A, but it will require more rounds on target. That is going to be everything to pretty much go over here. Hopefully this showcase convinced you to try out Gunfighter version 4. Again, I do want to shout out the mod developer for taking the time to get this mod back up and running. If you want to check out the mod, I'll have a link posted down below in the description for you guys. That will be the end of the video right there. Thank you guys so much for sticking through it to the end, and we'll see you in the next video.